So I thought I would share a handful of my go-to snacks. This time of year, all the more, I'm finding myself going to these more and more throughout the day because we're coming up on Thanksgiving and we're coming up on Christmas. And you know, with all the sweet treats and the salty treats that can be sitting around us or brought in from work or to work, and we're more tempted to dig into those, I'm finding I need to turn to these more right now than those other yummy treats. So I will have my Splurge Day, Thursday, guilt-free eat zone. I'll eat whatever I want, just like with Christmas Day, guilt-free eat zone for me. So I need to stay on track here with my healthier choices instead of the cookies and the cakes and the pastries and the muffins and, you know, all the yumminess that comes out this time of year that either we are making and baking and cooking up and taking to family or gatherings or to work, and people are bringing this stuff into work or around us or giving it to us. So here is a handful of my go-to snacks: my Jell-O, my pudding, my Granny Smith applesauce, the walnuts, the chocolate chips, fruit, my PB2s, my protein drink, and I think I already said Cool Whip, and my popcorn. What I will do, like once during the day, I will get some walnuts and the sugar-free chocolate chips, and I'll mix them together like a little trail mix, but it's not a trail mix, it's just a little mix. And that will tie me over until dinner, supper time. Or like after lunch, I will get a Jell-O and I will top that with Cool Whip. And then if it's like a dessert after dinner, growing up we didn't have dessert after dinner. My husband growing up, after dinner they did have dessert. So that's just something I've picked up from him, thinking I've got to have that little bit of something that I think is sweet after dinner to top off our meal. But you know, we don't have to have it. And then like with the bananas and the fruit, I ain't afraid of no fruit. This fruit bowl was full Sunday and today's Tuesday, so that tells you how much fruit gets eaten in the house. There are 2 apples in the fridge. I like my apples warm. Ken likes his apples cold. I like my ketchup warm. Ken likes his ketchup cold. I like my cornbread crunchy. He likes his cornbread to have a lot of what I would call meat in the middle, you know, a lot of cornbread. So we're different there in the textures of food. It always seems to work out. And then if I want a dessert, like I said, if I want to have more of a dessert after dinner, I will take a banana. If I'm not having the Jell-O and the pudding, I will take a banana. I will peel it and split it in half, and then I'll make up 2 tablespoons of the PB2, and I'll spread that PB2 over both sides of the banana. Then I'll top it with Cool Whip, and then sometimes I'll top it with the walnuts or the chocolate chip. And then if I'm just wanting it something sweet, something salty, I will pop up a bag of this Smart Pop popcorn. And then the protein, you can just drink that straight, but what I do is I make my iced coffee anywhere from 9 to 11. I will brew my coffee the first thing when I get up in the morning when my cappuccino is brewing. Then I will also make a cup of coffee. And I think it's 10 ounces I do, because I split it in 2. But when I make it, I'll put it in the fridge and let it sit there. And I get up early in the morning. I'll let it sit there till the 9 or 11 o'clock when I start making my iced coffee. Then I'll bring the cooled coffee that I made out of the fridge. I'll put ice in my cup, and then I'll put 2 of the packets of Trivia over my ice. Then pour my cooled coffee over my ice, and then top it with half of a carton of the Premier Protein, and then that is my iced coffee. No, actually, I've got one made. And there's my iced coffee. And I'll just drink on that throughout the morning, actually. And then the other 5 ounces of coffee is still sitting in the refrigerator. If I wanted a second iced coffee that day, then I'll use the other 5 ounces of coffee over fresh ice, with 2 new packets of the Trivia and then the rest of the Premier Protein if I wanted that second cup. But I've got to where I don't even drink that second glass of iced coffee. The one, like I said, I'll drink on it for a couple hours. So that's just a handful of some of my go-to snacks that I keep on hand. And like in season, of course, we'll have like cantaloupes and watermelon and grapes and those kind of fruits too. So this girl ain't afraid of no fruit. I will eat my fruit. And if I weren't able to eat fresh fruit, I would go to canned fruit that's packed in water. So there's my healthy choices throughout the week so I can have my one splurge day on the weekend. But this week it's going to be Thanksgiving Day, and then the week of Christmas it will be either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And then having these options, I don't feel cheated, if that's what I would call it, or I don't feel the least bit deprived. So another win-win for me.